as children that didn't work for them within Christianity, that sometimes they don't want to hear any of this Jesus stuff. And when it comes to A Course in Miracles and some of the Christian language, and especially how much of the Course in Miracles is written in the first person, I know sometimes people are couldn't we just leave that part out? But when it comes to Jesus, his name was not Herbert, and so using the name Jesus is simply what the name was. This week in particular, with Easter coming up, obviously what the Course in Miracles has to say about the topic is relevant, and so it is from that place that we are talking this evening. We've often talked about the fact that from an existential perspective, Christmas and Easter are kind of like the two existential bookends that hold all things together. And by all things, I mean every moment. We think of Christmas as something that happened 2,000 years ago to one person. But Christmas, from a metaphysical perspective, has to do with the idea that in any given moment, we can give birth to the best which is within us, one name for which is the Christ. And Easter, similarly, is not about one event that happened to one person thousands of years ago. Rather, it has to do with the realization that no matter what anybody does, no matter what anybody says, no matter what assault we might experience that is thrown at us by anyone or anything in the mortal world, to the extent to which we identify with the Christ or the love within us, we cannot be hurt. As the Course in Miracles says, the Christ within you cannot be crucified. So let's talk about what the Course in Miracles has to say about Easter. This is chapter 20. It's called The Vision of Holiness, and the title, of course, is, well, not of course, but the title is Holy Week. This is Palm Sunday, the celebration of victory and the acceptance of the truth. Let us not spend this Holy Week brooding on the crucifixion of God's Son, but happily in the celebration of his release. For Easter is the sign of peace, not pain. A slain Christ has no meaning, but a risen Christ becomes the symbol of the Son of God's forgiveness on himself, the sign he looks upon himself as healed and whole. Now, what is the Christ within us? The Christ within us is the truth of who we are, because it is our divinity. The divine, eternal love within us is the truth of who we are. And the Course in Miracles teaches us that there is nothing that you can do, nothing you have ever done or ever will do, and nothing that anybody else can ever do to you or has ever done to you to change that fact. Now, we're all born perfectly loving. We come out of the womb with just this great beam of love and light. And then what we experience on this earth is the assault of the human experience. And because the human consciousness of the last many ages has been dominated by fear, which the Course in Miracles calls ego, we are born as these little babies who are nothing but love, but sooner or later we experience the assaults of the ego mind. One word for the energy pattern, which is the assault of the ego, is crucifixion. But I can only be crucified to the extent to which I identify with the realm of experience, which is crucifixion, i.e. the mortal realm. To the extent to which I identify not with my mortal life, but rather in the deepest sense with my spiritual life, I am identifying with a realm in which I cannot be hurt. And so that symbolic 3 days between the crucifixion and the resurrection means that we go through human experiences which hurt us. And the Course in Miracles says that enlightenment is the transition from body identification to spirit identification. So here I am identifying mainly with my human drama, my human body.